Hello everyone and welcome to the world of physics. In this session, we are going to start with a chapter called as refraction of light. So let's begin with the first topic, that is properties of light. Now to understand properties of light, we must know what is light. So the very first and the simple question, what is light? Well, it's very simple. Light is an electromagnetic radiation which causes sensation of vision. Now sensation of vision means to see something, and electromagnetic radiation means it's a form of energy. So we can simply also say light is a form of energy or an electromagnetic radiation which causes sensation of vision. So this is a very simple thing to understand. Because of light we can see something. You all are able to see this video just because of the light which is coming out of the screen. So that's the very simple definition of light to understand. Light is a form of energy or an electromagnetic radiation which creates sensation of vision in our eyes. So now let us begin with the very first property of light, and that is rectilinear propagation. Now the word rectilinear means straight line and propagation means to travel. So when light travels, or in fact light travels in a straight line, that is called as rectilinear propagation. Well, we all are very much aware with this school experiment of our lower standard which help us to understand how light travels in a straight line. With the help of 3 cardboards placed one behind the other, we can easily see a ray of light which is coming out of that candle on the another end. Okay, apart from this, there are many more examples which help us to understand how exactly light enters into a room or from any dark or from any windows or any openings, and which create a lot of very good patterns which forms also shadows. So all these are the examples which make us understand what exactly light is and how does light travels. Well, very good. Light is a form of energy which travels in a straight line. Now children, if you want to learn physics in a more good way and to understand and to fall in love with the subject, we must have this approach of asking a question why. Means why does this happen? I mean, I just want to clarify why light travels in a straight line only. Why not in any zigzag form or in any circular form? Light straight ही क्यों travel होता है? What's the reason behind that? It's actually very simple. Can we answer this? Well, yes. See, it happens that light wants to travel the shortest path, or in fact the quickest path. And if we take 2 particles as a point, light wants to travel, or if we join these 2 particles, a straight line is the only path in a simplest or in a quickest way to join this. So because of this, a straight line is the shortest as well as the quickest path. And if these 2 points are the source of light, which is making the light to travel, light will travel in the shortest as well as the quickest path. And that is why light travels in a straight line path. So that's the answer why light travels in a straight line path, or what is rectilinear propagation of light. That was the first property of light. Now let's begin this and let's see the second and the most beautiful property, that is reflection of light. Now what is reflection, or what we mean by reflection? Wow, isn't it very beautiful? We can see the image of the Taj on the surface of the water. Now how it is possible, or how exactly we can see this image? Well, let's see one more example. This is the example of our day-to-day life, that is the image formed in the mirror. Now how both of these phenomena are possible? The answer to this is yes, reflection of light. What do we mean by reflection of light? It's very simple. When a ray of light is incident on an opaque surface, the part of light is sent back into the same medium. This is called reflection of light. Let's understand this. The first thing is, let's understand the meaning of opaque surface. So what is, children, opaque surface? The surfaces which does not allow the light to pass through it are known as opaque surface. Means the surfaces through which light will not pass are said to be opaque surface. Example, doors, mirrors, walls, buildings. All this will not allow the light to pass through them, unlike glass. So all such surfaces are called as opaque surface. So such surface, when we incident some light, incident means to send some rays of light. When we send some rays of light to these opaque surfaces, this opaque surface will send back the light into the same medium, and this principle is called as reflection of light. The rays which we are sending are called incident ray, and the rays which we get back are called as reflected ray. So let's see with the help of example. In our case, we'll take mirror as a opaque surface. If we take mirror and if we send some rays of light which we call as incident ray, will get back certain rays of light which are reflected ray. Both these rays will be divided by a normal at certain point, that is at point P. This point P is called point of incidence, जहाँ पे we are sending light. So this is what reflection of light is called. Now the angle made by incident ray with normal is called angle of incidence, and the angle made by reflected ray with normal is called angle of reflection. Okay, the angle of incidence is denoted by I and the angle of reflection is denoted by I. Beautiful. I hope this concept of reflection is clear to you. Reflection means the part of light will turn back into the same medium. Some light will come back into the same medium after hitting any opaque surface. What we mean by opaque surface? Through which light cannot pass. So after learning this second property, let's learn two beautiful laws related to reflection of light. The very first law, the law says that the incident ray and reflected ray lie on the opposite side of the normal and all three of them are in a same plane. Means what? See, this was the diagram. We have incident ray, we have reflected ray. Both of them are on the either side, means opposite side. Opposite side of what? We have in between a normal. So incident ray and reflected ray, both of them are on the opposite side of the normal, and all three of them, that is incident ray, reflected ray and normal, they are in one plane or in same plane. That is the first law. The second law says that the angle of incidence I, which is denoted by I, is equal to the angle of reflection R. मतलब angle of incidence and angle of reflection का value will be equal. What we mean by this, children? Angle of incidence, if it is 30 degree, angle of reflection भी 30 होगा क्या? Is it like this? Yes, it is. But let's say this in another way. Means if a light is coming and hitting any surface at 30 degree, it will also leave that surface by making an angle of 30 degree. Means even both this angle will be same. And that is the concept and learning and phenomena behind the concept of laws of reflection. So this was about laws of reflection. Now by making use of all this concept, that is rectilinear propagation and reflection of light, let's combine this to answer a very beautiful question which we come across in physics, that is how do we see things around us. Now let's make use of this. To see any things in this surrounding, we need a source of light, means from where the light is coming. For example, the video what you are watching, that is getting energy from the battery and that is converting the light in a form of light, and that light is making you see all the characters and the images what are posted on the screen. Now for getting any source of light, for example, if we take this example, in this case the sun is acting as a source of light. The rays of light are coming from the sun or the bulb. Now the rays of light will come from the bulb, they will follow the property of rectilinear propagation, means light travels in a straight line. Now when light is coming out of this bulb, they will travel in a straight line path. They will go and hit the object. Now object, children, it's an opaque surface. It will pass or it will bend the light. It will not pass. Since it's an opaque surface, it will bend the light. Now as the light bends, it turns back into the same medium. And when the light turns back into the same medium, that's called reflection. Now because of reflection, this light will turn and come back into the same medium, and this light will enter the observer eye. And because of this, the observer will be able to see which object is present. So children, by using this two property or phenomena, that is rectilinear propagation, light travels in a straight line, and second, reflection of light, that is if we send certain ray of light, the opaque surface will send back in the same medium. We can make out and we can answer to this question that light, or how do we see things around us. So to cut the long story short, what we mean by reflection of light, that is turning back of light or turning some sort of light into the same medium is called reflection of light. So till now we have understand the rectilinear propagation and the reflection of light, and by making use of this two principle and concept, we have answered how does light travels, why does light travels in a straight line, just because it wants to follow the quickest path or the shortest path, and second was how do we see things around us, just because of rectilinear propagation and reflection of light. Thank you.